beautiful people, and welcome to my channel. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Give me just a minute to connect Instagram, and then I'm going to introduce you to my very special guest that I'm super excited to connect with today. And we are going to be talking all about the Ultimate Raw Vegan Bundle and all about her journey and more. And we are connected now. So I just want to again say hello, beautiful people, and thank you for joining us. I have a special guest here, Kiko Miwa. Thank you so much for joining. We are both in the Ultimate Raw Vegan Bundle, which goes until May 11th. And if you haven't gotten it yet, please know you can go to either one of our bios, and then there's a link. You can go ahead and purchase it. Welcome, Kiko.
Thank you, Jennifer. I'm so excited to be here.
No, I am so excited for you to be here as well. And I know that you have a book about Journey to Better Health and Namado. Is that correct, how I say it?
Perfect.
Okay. And that I think that means raw journey. Yes?
Exactly.
I love the name. I love the name. And so I was just, I actually did read your book, and I'm really excited to learn more about you. We've never met, so this is very exciting. And you are in where? Where are you in?
Kyoto, Japan.
Right on. Yes, Kyoto. So I got to tell you, I love Kyoto and Japan. I had the privilege of going there. I think it was back in 2015 with my daughter and her now husband. They weren't married at the time, and his mother. And we spent 6 weeks there. And Kyoto, oh my gosh, when I saw the Golden Temple, breathtaking, just gorgeous. And also, I remember a big one is the bamboo forest, and I did get lost in the, in the bamboo forest. So anyways, I just, yeah, so you're in Kyoto. So what time is it there right now?
It's 7 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, and here I'm in Arizona. And it is 3 in the afternoon. And so I just want to also welcome people that are in the chat. I have Else here, hello, and Lisa. Apple a Day is here. Core Scorpy is here. And we just want to welcome you. Any questions you guys have or comments, put it in the chat, as you know, and we will do our best to get them responded to and answered. So anyways, before we get really started, I am super excited. I made a couple of your recipes that are in the new book. And so this one is the Indian spiced rice, and I say this right, biryani.
Mm-hmm.
Biryani, okay? I did not put the sauce on it yet because I thought I might need to wait, but I did make the sauce, which is right here, and it's a beautiful Indian fragrance. We were kind of nibbling just to taste a little bit, and it's a beautiful, easy recipe that I'm excited to try. And also, you have smoothies, so I'm sorry I drank half of it already because it's so good. But I have the Tropical Bliss smoothie, and these recipes are in the bundle. So I have a quick question. This smoothie has sea moss in it. Can you just touch for a minute on what sea moss is or why you would put that in a smoothie recipe?
Yes, so CMOS has been such I think it became kind of trendy in raw vegan community, and it was said to be about over 90 minerals and amazing nutrition, packed in nutrition. And there were times that I felt like I need some help on hair. I had lots of hair falling, and a lot of raw vegans were saying that this is great for hair growth and also nail growth. And so I said, okay, let me give it a try. And also, there are quite a few recipes that raw vegans are using with raw CMOS. So I gave it a try. It's difficult to get it here in Japan, so I just got a whole package from the States, and Yeah, it looks like I had some, there was some benefits from it, especially on hair. Like I had less hair falling off since I started to include that. Yeah, so
Oh, thank you so much for sharing that. I don't have any sea moss, so what I ended up doing is I put chlorella in, and I was trying to see if that would be a good substitute until I can get some. Would you agree that that's okay, or would you recommend something else?
yeah, I think CMOS I might have had it as an optional, or did I have it as a base?
It's an optional. No, let me see. There were no. I think it was on the base, but there were other things that were optional. And
Okay. Yeah,
yeah,
thank you. It's not necessary at all. Yeah, I nowadays I don't add them because it's not so easy to get it here in Japan. And if you add CMOS, really there's no taste. You don't taste it. You don't taste that much, and it's just a little bit that you add as sort of like a supplements.
okay. Okay, okay. Marilyn is in the chat. She's saying hello. And Apple a Day says, I've been having Kiko's cacao chia parfait for breakfast these last few days. So yummy. And that is awesome. And Apple a Day also says chia gel would be a good substitute for CMOS. Thank you. I appreciate that. And let's see, Elle says, I see that they have powder or gel on Amazon. So if she wanted to order it, which one would you recommend, the powder or gel?
I would recommend just the dried form. I'm not familiar with gel or powder form. I would always go for the real source. So like Irish sea moss, just dried, and you just buy it and then you just wash it out, soak it in water overnight, and you blend it in high speed blender and you make a sea moss gel yourself. And
Oh,
I like to add it like I eat the dried nori, the dried seaweed seed, and sometimes I don't feel like adding that on a daily basis. So that was sort of like a replacement of nori sheet to get that kind of minerals. It's not quite the same, but I felt like it helped me boost on some minerals.
awesome. Okay. So I read your book, like I had mentioned, and you have an amazing story overcoming some pretty incredible health challenges. And we also share some similar health issues, which I thought was really interesting. But for those people who aren't familiar with you, can you walk us through a little bit about who you are and the health challenges that you were facing before you switched to a raw food lifestyle?
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, my name is Kiko, and I was born and raised here in Japan, but I lived in the States for 10 years, and so from 2001 to 2003, I was in a dark place emotionally, and also I was going through a health crisis. And when I had ovarian cyst, which I had to have surgery. And shortly after, I had a rupture, and I could have died because it was pretty big cyst that ruptured. And I also had a severe case of eczema, which I had sleepless nights, and basically I am feeling so itchy all over my body, and I was quite depressed. And I also had like some cysts showing up in my other part of my body. And doctors were saying that this could be cancerous, and it really scared me. And I was asking my gynecologist, is there anything I can do to improve this health problem that I'm facing? And she said, well, there's no link to what you eat to your lifestyle. So, you just have to have a surgery, remove your, go on a hormonal treatment, or just remove your female organs. And I didn't want to go through that. So I was always in search of natural way to heal and sustainable way to do it. And I just on 2000 in 2003, this was a New Year's Eve. I was invited to my friend's place, and I met someone who was doing raw vegan lifestyle for the last 3 years, and that's how I discovered. And when I started this raw vegan journey, I felt complete enlightenment. Honestly, I felt so good almost immediately that I said, I have to share this amazing lifestyle. And I have been wanting to write this book for over 20 years, and I finally finished my book.
Wow. Wow. That's incredible. Congratulations on the first book. It's wonderful. And for you to put it in this Ultimate Raw Vegan bundle for people, what a gift, really. And thank you for being so open about it. I think it really gives an opportunity to help people that are curious or they don't know how food can help. And like what you said, your gynecologist didn't really know. That's what I believe, right? They don't know about the nutrition part. They know what they know, and there's a place for that, I believe. But what they don't know, then sometimes when they give an opinion, I wonder, is that an education or is that an opinion? But it looks like you just said, you know what, that's okay. I'm going to try something different when you saw your friend Hugo. So I also read a little bit about your childhood experience, if you are comfortable to share with being treated differently than your brothers because of gender and tradition. Mindset plays a huge part, I believe. So, how did you overcome the mental challenges, or have you yet?
Yes, moving away from my family helped a lot. I just ran away from Japan at some point. I went to America, and my first place I went to was California. I graduated community college in southern part of California. And Californians are amazing. They compliment you all the time, like, "Oh my God, you're amazing!" And it's, it just, they're very generous in complimenting you, and it's part of their culture. And Americans in general, you guys are amazing, and very open, and easy to converse, and which is quite different from my culture that I was brought up. Japanese are very polite, very very nice and helpful people, but they're very critical to you know our own people. So they are very nice to people outside, but very critical to our family members. To excel. I think it's quite common in Asian family. So yes, I have overcome, and I do think living in the States for 10 years helped me.
That's okay. Yeah. So we have lived many years in California, so I know what you're talking about. And it's interesting your perspective that the Americans are so nice, which they can be. And then when I was in Japan, I felt the same way. Oh my gosh, like you said, it's different when it's internal or in your family. Just interesting that it can go both ways. Don't be surprised.
I think in terms of self-esteem, for me, living in America helped because coming out of the conservative family in Japan and being able to be own, and maybe that could have been anywhere else, being out of that culture.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm forever thankful for I'm living for 10 years in the States.
Yeah, and wow, that's incredible. I would love to have an opportunity to live all over. Anyways, going back to your beautiful book that you have in the Ultimate Raw Vegan Bundle, you have some pictures in there uh, of your life's journey and your transition, which I really liked. And just kind of wanting to talk about the health stuff. I know there was one picture in there where you were a little girl on Girls' Day. I'm familiar with that, March 3rd, because when I was in Japan, they were getting ready for Girls' Day. And my birthday is the day before. And I felt like they were celebrating me. But so this little picture of you when you were a little girl on Girls' Day, it says that you were about 4 years old. And I was really surprised to read that at 4 years old, or roughly, you were already like constipated. And I'm wondering, like, nobody ever questioned that with little girls' digestion is not correct. I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit about that. And maybe you didn't notice until like later looking back, or maybe your family spoke.
Yes, I shared a very personal story in that book, and I said, "Well, you know what? It's not this book is not just for me. It's more for people to see and get inspired or yeah." So yeah, no one ever questioned, and I think my family was busy. They were just busy and with doing their own business, which was flourishing, and they had 3 kids. And I remember my brothers were also constipated. I remember my younger brother was quite constipated, just like me, and it was just, you know,
So,
we never connected nutrition, what we eat, to how we feel at that time. So
yeah. When I was visiting, and I remember seeing a lot of traditional Japanese breakfasts were very different than what I was used to. And at that time, I was not whole food plant based. I was dipping my toes in certain things and learning. But how? So, what were you guys eating? What was the standard food that you and your brothers were eating at that time?
so we eat a lot. We At that time we eat a lot of white rice. We also had this Western influence, so a lot of people were eating bread, like white bread. So yeah, mix of Japanese breakfast, which is rice and miso soup and some side dish on animal products, or just the toast with butter and lots of jams. So
Yeah, interesting. So you guys went from the traditional rice to wanting to be more bringing in more of the Western foods with the bread. That's really interesting. So just wondering, how did your family react? I mean, I'm kind of jumping ahead of your story, but how did your family react to the change to when you finally did decide to go raw vegan for your health and well-being? And maybe, you can share a little bit about that. Did you have support or curiosity or anything like that?
yeah, great question. My family thinks that my whole family think that I'm crazy. So it's I think, oh, Kiko again, and but for them, I think the fact that I stopped eating white rice was a huge shock for them, and they took it quite they are quite offended, I think, just
Mm,
like many people. And when I ate white rice, I had allergy reaction, like my eczema would return, and I didn't feel good. So Yeah, I would explain to them that, it's my way of feeling better that I don't eat this food. And um, but it was difficult for them and for me. And they it wasn't so easy for them to understand because eczema wasn't on my face, right? And it was on my like neck or like places that was hiding my hands also. So if they see me, they might not see the difference. So yeah, I had to be confident in my journey and isolate myself at some point. Yeah, but they were not happy at all.
Yeah, yeah. Well, a lot of people have that struggle. You're not alone, and um, if you're crazy, I'm crazy with you, right? So it's all good. It's just a different perception, different perspective, and people, if you don't understand something, sometimes it's hard to make sense of it. But I try to accept people where they are, but I also like to bring light to the person transitioning and looking for answers and not feeling well. Mine is a health journey as well. And I think that can complicate it if you don't have the support,
Mm.
even if they don't understand it. So thank you so much for sharing that. And so, uh, so do you remember what was the moment or experience that made you start to look for an alternate a solution besides the conventional medicine? I know you mentioned a little bit about some health issues, but do you remember like there being a certain something that you said, I have to find another answer, or was it just when you met your friend Hugo?
Um, I just knew that I didn't want it to be medicated the rest of my life or would depend on something. Yeah, I never liked medicine. So I don't like, if I have a headache, I don't like taking painkiller. If I have allergy, I just thought that it's kind of strange to keep on taking the medicine. So, but at that time, nowadays, it's the information is available, and we know that what we eat is the lifestyle is strongly connected to our disease.
Mhm.
But at that time, so that was in like late 90s and like early 2000s. Even doctors and people around, like they didn't connect the dots on what we eat is, how we feel, how um, it could reverse your disease. So yeah, when I had this ovarian cyst and my doctor said that you have to have a surgery as soon as possible, but after having surgery, in a few months, it came back and it ended up rupturing. So, and I said, Am I going to continue on that surgeries?" It's to me, it sounded absurd, and my gynecologist said, "Well, let's schedule another surgery." like,
Oh, wow.
like no.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've done many modalities on Chinese herb medicine or I don't know, yoga or I forgot, but I remember like whatever I see, whenever I see it, I would try it, and nothing seems to work. But when I started this raw vegan food diet, it was like almost instantaneous.
That's amazing. Wow. Wow. Good for you. I'm really happy to hear that. And I also had a surgical ovarian tumor cyst removed. So I can feel where you're coming from. Apple a Day says many doctors still don't connect the dots. And that's true. And I really believe that it's based on their experience or their education or, you know, different things. So it's great that we can be strong enough and curious enough to look for other answers that aren't traditional when that is not needed, or you don't want to do that. But I do want to ask you, you know, in your book you talked, and you also mentioned that you met a friend, and you said Hugo. Can you share a little more detail about who is Hugo, and like also how did you first learn about the whole food plant-based raw nutrition? Like, what made this resonate with you, or like, who is this Hugo?
Yes, yeah, Hugo is amazing. He's quite determined, and he stick to raw vegan diet. And I was so amazed how he was committed. And so in 2000, on 2003, December 31st, when I met him, he was already in this on this journey for 3 years. And at that time, he didn't even drink tea. He was very hardcore raw vegan. And it was on his birthday is December 31st. And he was my friend actually prepared a birthday cake for him, but it wasn't raw vegan version, so he did not touch a thing. And he just brought his own food, and he was generous enough to let me try his food. I was like, wow, this is amazing. This tastes so good, and it's not cooked. I mean, how is it so? And because I was living in New York, and then it was around the time raw vegan was trendy, and we had some restaurant which was serving raw vegan food. So yeah, Hugo and I, we enjoyed eating out time to time. I also prepared some full raw vegan meal course for him. That was sushi, lasagna, some soup that I don't remember, and dessert. And yeah, this was to thank him. I think it was yeah, exactly 1 year after I met him. I said, I need to show my appreciation to this beautiful man who guided me to this beautiful path. And so I made a full course of raw vegan meal, and he absolutely loved my meal.
Oh, I saw a picture in your book of that. That's a beautiful story. Yeah, you know, sometimes we don't we just stumble upon things, but if we're open to it, you know, if we're open to trying something different, you could have easily just said, "Oh, that's kind of weird," and went on about your day, but you were open to it. And I think that's really important, to bring awareness. When people become open enough to be aware, then they can make the choice. And so I just want to
Yeah.
say that Else is in the chat. Oh, yes, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just want to add, Jennifer, what you mentioned is exactly right. When you're searching for it, you would definitely find the answer. I'm definitely a living proof that whatever I search, I was able to find. And then that night of 2003, December 31st, I was not the only person, of course, in the party. It was like 6 people, 7 people. I think okay, there were about 8 people in total in that New Year's Eve party, and I was the only person who was asking about what Hugo was eating, and I was just so mesmerized, and I was thinking like, hello, is anyone there? I mean, this he has an amazing food and story to tell, and everyone else was just on their own talking about something else. So yes, exactly. When you're ready, door opens, the answer is there.
Yes, yes. Was that the first time that you had met that friend of yours, Hugo? Was that
Yes.
so you was the first time you met, you were intrigued, and then you asked questions. Do you remember, like, because a lot of people think, oh, raw, um, it's just a lettuce or it's just a piece of fruit, which it is, but it's also so much more. And you know, there's amazing kinds of dishes that you can create. And I have been learning pizza and lasagna and like all the tacos and sushi Lissa has, but I'm wondering, do you remember, like, does anything stand out about what you tried that he was eating that night?
No, well, he enjoyed every single meals, and he kept saying that, Kiko, you should open your cafe. And you know, a lot of people always say that, Kiko, because I love sharing my food. So, Kiko, please open your cafe and restaurant. And I said, no, no, I'm busy, and it's too much work. And finally, I started. I have a weekly cafe, once a week, only once a week, in downtown Kyoto. So Jennifer and Todd, when you do come back to Kyoto, yeah, you're definitely welcome in my
Oh
cafe.
my goodness, that is amazing. You have a cafe. Wow. Okay, yes, I'm definitely going to have to put that in the plan. I would love to take you up on that invitation. And congratulations. I'm sure that journey is a whole separate journey in itself, for like, how do you even go about doing that and be successful and have people purchase from you, right? Because if nobody comes around, it doesn't matter how pretty it looks. So
Yeah,
yeah.
you can follow my Instagram for some of the menu. I always share during this bundle time. Maybe not so much, but yeah, I like to decorate with flowers from my garden and make it pretty so that people are, more comfortable trying out the raw vegan food, right?
Yes, and we just put up your socials, and yes, please follow. Get connected. Kiko has, like you've learned, an amazing story, and I am connected newly with you as well. And wow, that is super exciting. I might want to talk more about that, but I did want to just say that Else, who's in the chat, said that she just bought her first time raw vegan bundle. So I want to say congratulations
Patience.
and thank you for, supporting the work of everyone. I am sure that you are going to be so surprised, and I would love to hear any feedback about it. And of course, if you need any help, I always tell people, if you need any help, let us know, and we are happy to help with figuring out the downloads and all of that. But yeah, I had to say that because that's exciting. First time raw bundle. Bernadette is in here. Oh, a lot of people are saying road trip to Tokyo. Todd says I'm booking my airfare. So that
You,
would be fun.
I actually also work as a tour guide and interpreter in Kyoto. Kyoto is an amazing place. So yeah, feel free to contact me. And that's one of my hobby that I'm so grateful that I get paid for that.
Oh my goodness. Okay, definitely. Thank you so much. And anyone that wants to join, right? We could all head over to Japan. Wow, I remember enjoying Kyoto very much. I went a lot of different places, but it's uh, it's a beautiful place. And oh my gosh, what a gift you have to be able to do that.
Mhm.
So, can you walk down a little bit? Like, how did you just, I know you said your friends were saying, open up your cafe. How did you actually decide that I'm going to do this? And then how do you do that?
Yeah, it's actually I belong to this community association, and they just renovated their place about 2 years ago, and they have a beautiful kitchen, but they didn't know how to make a use of it. So I really like this place. The people are so nice, and they sell organic vegetables, and they have very interesting events. But they needed someone to use that space more regularly. I said, well, if it's just once a week, I can try. And I have been doing it. My friend has been asking me to do some pop up. So I started sharing my food, and they really loved it. And what's nice is that, I can pour all my love and my experience and all everything I've learned into one dish.
Mhm.
And not only it looks beautiful, it's so nutritious. And everyone reports back me saying that, Oh my God, Kiko, that was so nice. I felt so satisfied, and I thought that I wouldn't be full, but we skipped the dinner and we felt amazing. Our digestion was amazing. Without going too much in detail, they were they were like so happy, and yeah, they like trying, but sometimes it might be a bit complicated, or might look complicated to begin. So I like to share once a week. They can come and they can talk to me directly. And, I do sometime food demonstration. What I prepare, Jennifer, you have tried my recipe. They're very simple, right?
Very simple, very pretty, very delicious, and I'm excited to continue to, make more of them. Yeah, that's the thing about that I have learned also with raw. Like, I don't know. It's just you. It seems like less steps, even if you're creating. Not always, but with your dishes, like you just need the food processor and the ingredients and the certain spices and the recipe, and it's very simple to make it. It's beautiful and it comes together quickly. So I loved that.
Oh, that's my purpose. Everyone is busy, and if it's too complicated, they'll just get discouraged. Me, I am also, not always in the kitchen. I could spend the whole day in kitchen, but there are so many other things that I want to do. So I want to make it very simple. Then with that simple recipe, you can add or, subtract some of the ingredients if you like.
Yeah, and at the bottom of your recipe, it said there, it talks about different things you can add, examples of what would be good. And so I
Mhm.
really, really liked that. And so I'm just curious, like with this cafe, do you come up with a new menu every time? Do you have people order, or how do you know how much to make?
Yeah, so my cafe is definitely zero waste. I don't like any waste. I'm very, very, uh, yeah, I make sure that there's nothing spoiled or, thrown away. So I have that whatever I shared in my book is usually what I share. So I always have like a big portion of salad with that walnut pate I shared in the book. Chia berry parfait is very popular, so I share that. Um, yeah, usually I have maybe two or three dessert and maybe two different kinds of appetizer or salad. And I encourage people to make reservation, but most people don't. So what I do is I make a big portion, and even if I don't sell all of it, I can eat, during the day, the week. So yeah, that's how I do it.
Wow, that's so fun. I want to go to your cafe.
Please.
Yeah, I hope to do that. If somebody, let's see, so how, tell us a little bit about like your eating style and how you discovered, or in the earlier days, what worked best for your healing. If somebody is new to this and maybe they are not sure how to figure out what works for them, is there any kind of process you went through or a certain style that you figured out worked for you?
Yes, so in the beginning, I tend to, well, even recently, I tend to follow the so-called raw vegan gurus, and they will tell you, oh, this is the way you have to follow exactly like this. And if you fail, it's not my fault, but it's your fault, kind of message, right? And this sort of like a social media influencers, they have maybe that worked well for them, but as I mentioned in my book, each person has their own journey, and it's so important to listen to yourself and pay attention to how you feel. So beginning of my journey, I was having a lot of oil, like extra virgin olive oil, extra virgin coconut oil, And I was feeling fine, or I was feeling fantastic actually, because I was coming from this standard, you know, American diet, right? And eating out this heavy oil and deep fried stuff, transitioning to extra virgin olive oil or coconut oil, of course, I would feel much better. But yeah, I had to adjust quite a bit during this 20 years of a high raw vegan journey. And now, what I eat is pretty much what you see in my book, also on the Ultimate Raw Vegan Bundle. And, I cannot stress enough and, get it as soon as possible. If you haven't get it, Jennifer has her link easily available for you. And it's really only $50 in so much knowledge. And this is really a dream come true, not just for new beginners, but someone like me who has been on this journey. I still continue to learn, and that's a beauty. It's just given. $50 is like what, so cheap.
Yeah, yeah, and also you people can go to your page in your bio and buy it that way as well. And you're right. I think I heard it last. It was like over $1,300 in value, and that comes from if everybody had sold whatever they put in there separately, and you bought each thing separately. That's how much it would cost retail. And so there isn't just recipes. There are a lot of recipes and amazing and stories like yours, but there's so much more. I mean, I've mentioned this before in another live, but permaculture and how to grow and be self-sustaining, and there's hormone stuff, and Lissa has a sushi thing, and Chef AJ, and I mean, just a lot of fun stuff. And so, anyways, I just wanted to add that on to what you were saying, because you don't have to be raw or 100%, or maybe you're not at all and you're just curious. You'll find, I feel very confident to say you're find something that's new to learn, or some recipe to try, I think. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I wanted to thank you, Jennifer, because I'm just so impressed with your professionality along with your husband. Make this information available, and there's so much work behind the scene, and I'm really impressed that you were able to read my book. I mean, this is a very intense time, and it's my first try being part of the bundle, and I'm quite overwhelmed. And Jennifer was kind enough to help me guide through on this stream. Has her husband as well. I mean, I cannot thank you enough for your generosity in time and contribution towards this ultimate raw vegan bundle. So yeah, everyone, trust in this journey. Get it if you haven't from her link. So thank you.
Oh my goodness. Well, I feel the same towards you. And I just feel like even though we're new to meeting each other, I want to support and be there for anyone the same way that I know you are with all the things that you shared. It's wonderful. And so thank you so much. That is so kind. And so, I'm wondering, like, in the book, and I keep referring back to it because it was so fascinating for me to read, and for all the things that you shared. But I think you had mentioned in there that, like, you were not eating meat, like red meat. I was wondering, were you a vegetarian, or was your at some point, or no?
Yes, so 30 years ago, I guess my plant-based journey started. So that was the time I moved to the States. So I slowly removed pig meat. I don't
Oh,
want to say
uh-huh.
pork. I don't
Yeah.
want to say pork because I don't think they should be called pork, but pig meat removing, and red meat removing. And then that process started because of yoga, my yoga journey as well.
Oh.
Uh, when I was close to some yoga instructor, they guided me gently into this plant-based diet. So just slowly over, I became a committed raw vegan, no, vegan, ethical vegan over 10 years ago, 10, 11 years ago. But that has been a very gentle journey, removing little by little.
I love that you're saying that it's gentle. You know, I recently, and people that follow me know, I recently, a few months ago, my father passed away. And I started to do like old behaviors, right? Looking for something to make me feel better in the
Mhm.
food, right? And in not the right foods, foods that I'm don't look at anymore, but I was looking like because I wanted something to make it go away. And the old behavior, that's what we did. That's what I did when I was younger, or, whatever. And that's what people do. A lot of people self-soothe, or, when the baby falls, oh, here, have a popsicle, or, whatever. So I really appreciate that you talk about it being gentle. And when I eat the fruit, or when I eat these types of foods, it is there's something about it that's very nurturing and very loving and simple. And it's hard to explain, but if you make the connection with what is going on? What is it that I need? Why am I reacting this way? And then you find something that is going to make you feel better. And then when it's in the food, like fresh, real food, I don't know. I just wanted to bring that to the surface, just because uh, I feel like a lot of people, have trouble with addiction and those kinds of things, but when we're nurturing ourselves, it can be done through proper food. And I just loved that you talked about the kindness and the gentleness of your experience.
Thanks for sharing that, Jennifer. When someone passed away, I would like to say, I would like to say that how, he must have done so much for you, and you must have had so much teaching from him, that that you're shining and continue to shine. And so first of all, I'm really grateful for your father, who was a huge part, who must have been a huge part of you being this, showing up and sharing the love to the world. So, but I understand that emotional, when we are going through a tough time, we want to just binge on something that we are used to eating. And that's why this bundle is amazing, because when you are surrounded by beautiful food, like what Jennifer is showing, I always love this. I have seen your interviews so many times, and you always have this vibrant, colorful fruits and vegetable in front of you. And yeah, even when you're feeling like binging on something that you might regret later, if you have that, if you only have that vibrant color in front of you, you might want to just binge on mangoes and watermelons. And that's beautiful. That's a beautiful example that you're showing. So thank you, Jennifer.
Wow. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. That's very kind of you. And yes, there's something about real food that is, I don't know if it's the water in it, if it's the flavor, what it is, and especially when you're experiencing healing. It's it can be, it was for me very spiritual. And yes, so I do want to ask you, so I know we talked about your cafe, and I know you have stuff in the book here, recipes, but on a typical day, what do meals look like for you now? Like, if you don't have a lot of time, like what's a typical day?
So it changes. I love eating seasonal fruits and vegetable. So this is my breakfast. Um, oh my God, it smells so good.
Oh, those strawberries look absolutely amazing. Wow.
Like I said, I work as an interpreter and guide here in Kyoto, and many Americans or non-Americans, they all say that Japanese strawberries are the best, and they don't know if they can eat their strawberries back home. It's heavenly. I mean, I have been indulging these strawberries because it's a strawberry seasons. During the winter time, I like having green smoothies. So apples here in Japan is amazing. Citrus fruits are amazing as well. So I might add that, which I have a recipe in my book. What else? Yeah, actually what I share in my book is what I eat, and I just add seasonal fruits and vegetables. Yeah.
Okay, I love that. Okay, so I got to tell you, when I was in Japan, we were going on the Shinkansen, which is the bullet train, and and in the train station, which you wouldn't do, I wouldn't do this in the America, but there was someone selling fruits and vegetables in the train station. We're getting onto the train, and I bought some strawberries in the
Oh,
train station, and oh man, were they good. And my daughter and her husband now, but at the time they were dating, he was looking, and so I shared with them. And then the next time we went on the train, he went and bought strawberries. And then every time we went on the train, we were buying strawberries. It's kind of funny. I do notice that when I was there, the portions were so small compared to American big portions. But when you're doing fruits and vegetables, can you purchase enough for being, I mean, obviously you're sustainable and it's sustainable, but do you have to order a certain way, or how do you get enough?
there's so many ways to do that. So during the winter time, I might order like 10 or 20 kg. That's like 25 to 40 pounds of apples in a box. And so we can connect with farmers. So we have like Amazon Japan
Mm-hmm.
well, we have Amazon Japan that do that, and also we have like what's called Emercari, which works as Amazon Japan, and you sometimes you get direct contact with farmers, so yeah, you get the fresh fruits and vegetables. So I might do that sometime because it's heavy to carry. And but most of the time I just go to my local supermarkets, and they have sales, and sometimes I negotiate with them. If I buy big bulk, they might give me a discount. But yeah, the price is not too bad. I think when you were here, 2015 was it?
Yes.
Yeah. uh, the price hasn't changed much, so I think you would find it quite reasonable here in Japan.
Okay. And I know you have Costco because I went to Costco there.
You did? Oh my God.
It was really funny. We were on a train, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have my Costco card with me.
Wow.
And anyways, that was kind of fun.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
that's a way.
yeah, yeah. So I'm thinking Costco has bigger portions too, but I love that you can connect with the farmers, because that is like the ultimate, knowing right where the food comes from, it's
Mhm.
fresh, and then you can talk with them. And anybody, I believe, could do that, no matter where you are in the world. We go to farmers markets and we talk to the farmers there, and it's really fun to get to know them, and if you
Mhm.
can see where the food comes from. And
Mhm.
anyways, I'm happy that you're able to do that.
Mhm.
Um, so when you're traveling or going to special events, I'm just wondering, is there any tips that you can share with people about how you maintain this with traveling, or if somebody's saying it's like too hard or too restrictive, anything that you would want to share about that with someone?
Yeah, I should remind you, I have to go in a few minutes because I
Oh,
have
yes.
to
Well,
start.
okay, this will be the last question, or we can skip it.
No, no, it's good. Yeah, if once you set your mind to it, it's actually very easy. some people, if you ask, hi, raw vegan here in Japan, they might answer that, it's very difficult to be raw vegan here in Japan. I personally think it's super easy. It's such a beautiful country. Water is amazing here. Like I mentioned, the strawberries are amazing. We have abundance of different kind of fruits and vegetable and herbs. So yeah, just any supermarkets would have actually cut vegetables that you can buy, or you just need a knife and spoons, and you can eat on any parks. Yeah, I
Um,
once you yeah, it's easy once you put your mindset to it. But buy the bundle because there's a there's a key in it.
well, I want to thank you so much for spending this time with all of us and with me, letting me get to know you and about your story. I have much gratitude, and I feel very gifted and blessed that we got to connect. And so thank you so much. Any last words?
Oh, I'm just grateful. I would love to connect with you. I felt so comfortable. You're so professional, and thank you so much for being generous and being well prepared. So I will do better this time.
No, you're good. Thank you so much. So I just want to say for all of you out there, don't forget to eat your greens and give plants a chance.